Welcome to the Blind Loyalty Challenge. I am Amanda Cromhope from Truth Loyalty and the Blind Loyalty Trust. We interview world leaders in loyalty blindly. The challenge is about creating loyalty insights spontaneously and about a lot of fun. Simultaneously, it is about raising the awareness of the Blind Loyalty Trust, and 100% of the proceeds from my book, Blind Loyalty 101 Loyalty Concepts Radically Simplified, go towards the trust. We hope you enjoy the Blind Loyalty Challenge. Today's Blind Loyalty Challenge is with Jason Fu. Jason is the CEO of BVD Perfect Storm. And if I don't tell you Jason will, the first time I met him, I completely and utterly embarrassed him, I think, because I was saying something to him on the stage as we were rehearsing something for the International Loyalty Awards final gala dinner in Dubai last year. So now I've got that out of the way, Jason, I can introduce you formally. Welcome.
Great, thank you. Lovely to be here, Amanda.
We've got you in your new offices, so congratulations on your move for your fabulous team. So you're in London, I'm in Cape Town, and I'm going straight into it. So your first question comes from Alexandro Saul from Leal Consulting. Now, Alexandro and myself, as you know, are co-guest hosts on Loyalty TV. And his question when he was on the Blind Loyalty Challenge: how do you balance transactional elements of a loyalty program with those emotional experience or experiential parts of a loyalty program to get it exciting for the customer?
What a great question. How do you balance it? Well, for me, the transactional, I would reframe this, and the way I tend to frame this is what I call deal loyalty and real loyalty. And unfortunately, the transactional elements are the deal loyalty elements of that. And for me, that is merely table stakes in any relationship and in any loyalty proposition. And so, yes, you're going to need some element of that to form the structure of a program, but that does not make you different. And if you do the transactional elements, you'll lose out to whoever's offering a greater transactional benefit. And ultimately, where you win is when you focus on the relational elements, because as they say, people never forget how you make them feel. And that's where real loyalty is created, by being emotionally meaningful as well as practically useful in terms of how you build that relationship. So my answer is, and that is where you will always win, is on the emotional side rather than the transactional side. But I recognize that the transactional element has its part to play.
Yeah, I think your words there, the table stakes, you can't actually get to the table without the deal loyalty and then the real loyalty. I love it. Interesting, this morning I was interviewing a Blind Loyalty Challenge with Lee Martin in Australia. I don't know if you know Lee. And he was just talking about how when he's achieved status on an airline, the way the status makes him feel from all the experiences, all the safeguarding he gets, is worth so much more to him than any of the points in the deal loyalty. The points are almost irrelevant. The monetary value becomes irrelevant.
Exactly.
Yeah, so two fabulous, different ways you both said it, but exactly the same. So stunning.
Deal loyalty is real loyalty.
Yeah, love it. Well, that's your hard question because another guest asked you that. So now it obviously gets easier.
If that's the hardest one, then hopefully
you're cruising.
Yeah.
So the second question, we have 13 chapters in Blind Loyalty around what different industries or how different industries offer loyalty programs, whether it's financial services, hoteliers, retail, and so on. In your opinion, which industry best lends itself for the ultimate loyalty experience?
Oh, interesting. Well, there's a simple way of answering that and then a slightly more extended way of answering it. I think the simple way of answering it is that probably travel and leisure industries offer the best encapsulation of that. And it goes back to the previous point we were discussing as to kind of where you create real loyalty. And I think the the things we remember most in life are those that are kind of the important special moments with those people that are meaningful and special to us. And invariably, travel,
Yeah.
leisure is where you make those truly special, emotional, personal connections with your loved ones, your closest friends and family, etc. And so any program that envelops itself within that sphere, I think, has an incredibly powerful role and anchor. And so airlines, hotel programs, etc., naturally
Yeah,
uh,
yeah.
connect people to the drivers of things which cause the greatest pleasure and happiness in life. That said, I think that the industry is heading towards lifestyle ecosystems, and consequently, any program that is able to build platforms that then can wrap themselves around a person's lifestyle in a emotionally meaningful and practically useful way will then set themselves up for success. And I think that you move from this discussion around how much share of wallet you have to how much share of life you have.
Yeah, 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 yeah. And IAG Loyalty released a white paper, I think it was last year, and they talked about the earn capability, typically, particularly business travelers, is so rational,
Yes.
but that redemption experience 90% of the time, if it's with family and friends, is that emotional, the rational versus emotional. And exactly,
Totally.
yeah. Great. So my last question, given your role and your fabulous agency, a very award-winning agency, chapter 41 of Blind Loyalty talks about how the loyalty program has to match the brand values of the mother brand. And it's something I'm terribly passionate about because we see it not always come to life. So how do you co-create or create in parallel the loyalty brand to guarantee that support of the mother brand?
Thank you. That is such a good and important question, and I think it's absolutely fundamental to any loyalty program. And at the end of the day, what is a loyalty program? Hopefully, it's a place where your most important, your most loyal, your most special customers are looked after in the most treasured and intimate ways. And if you recognize that, then hopefully what you recognize is that these are people that have bought into your brand, into your company, and are the most, both, as I say, intimate kind of they buy into it in the most intimate way, and hopefully you are also giving them the opportunity to advocate that. As a result, I think what you should be offering and how you construct it is by recognizing that they're the inner circle of the outer circle of the brand. So whatever that brand stands for, and its core pillars, its core values, its core positioning and proposition, needs to then be distilled and absolutely reflected in its loyalty program. And so
Yeah.
if you were to sort of look at if we were to go left and right in terms of brands, and you looked at something like British Airways versus Virgin, very different brands that stand for very different things, and hopefully their loyalty programs encapsulate that in the way that they behave, in the way that they recognize, in the way that they reward, and in the way that they and the experience that they offer should mirror the brand experience. And so if it doesn't, then clearly there's a huge disconnect and an incoherence between why I bought into the brand in the first place and then the experience that I'm getting as one of the most hopefully treasured and valued customers.
It's funny, like you mentioned BA and Virgin. I mean, I used to work for BA, so Virgin Atlantic, we always used to like the incredible fact of these two competing airlines, but their brand values are so desperately different. And then in the Virgin brand itself, like the South Africa, they've launched Virgin Active Rewards, and I think it's coming to the UK if it hasn't already launched. And they sent me a mailer very recently, like I'd been traveling, so I hadn't been into the local club. And it said, hey, the brand language was so perfectly on brand. And it was like, hey, Amanda, we miss you. Where are you? And then I clicked, it was a WhatsApp bot communication. And I was like, okay, I'm here. I'm not, I haven't disappeared. And it said, okay, so you're either lazy, you're either sick, you're either injured or you've been traveling. And then it almost said, I just hope you're not dead, kind of thing. It didn't say that, but it felt like that. So I said, I've been traveling. So it gave me the options to say, okay, I'm not being lazy. And then it said, okay, no excuses. You can still dial in into our online training programs through our portal. And I was like, you know, that is absolutely mint. It was perfect.
Yes. Yes.
So,
So, I mean, hopefully my answer sounds almost obvious, but it's kind of it's easy to say, and I think it's sometimes hard to do because when designing loyalty programs, I think practitioners very quickly get into what does the CVP look like and the customer value proposition, transactional elements. And as we discussed, that's actually the table stakes. Where you're going to make differences in the emotional connection that you build with that customer, and that's built on those brand values and how those are expressed in the most intimate way through the most direct connection and relationship that you're building with those people.
Yeah, absolutely. Perfect. Okay, so well done. You survived the blind loyalty challenge. You can breathe again. Who would you like to tag for me to interview in a future interview?
I would like to tag Kim Hardacre, who is leading the development of what I hear is going to be a very interesting loyalty program at Riyadh Air.
Brilliant. Kim and I were chatting on LinkedIn recently, so Kim, there's now no excuses.
Come on, Kim.
And then a question, it may not be for Kim, but it'll be for a future challengee.
Fantastic. Well, I've just got back from the South by Southwest Technology Film and Creativity Conference in Austin, Texas. And the subject of pretty much everything there was AI, AI, AI. So with that in mind, my question to the next interviewee is, what impact is artificial intelligence going to have on the future of loyalty and customer experience?
Perfect. Amazing. Jason, I knew I'd love this interview. Thank you for taking the time and doing the blind loyalty challenge.
Thank you. Super fun to see you, and thank you for inviting me.
My pleasure. It's been great.